Spin, spin, spin. And here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the March Madness Readathon Challenge Scoreboard numero uno. Guys, how is your team doing? Are you happy? Are you thrilled? Or are you overjoyed with your teammates?
My team is currently doing a hell of a lot better than I am. So I'm very pleased with my team. I'm not quite so pleased with myself.
How many books do you normally do over the course of a month? 3, 4?
Yeah, 3 is usually a good month for me.
Okay. So are you doing stretch goals? Are you looking forward to getting all 5 taken care of? Or is that like, yeah, right? I'm
hoping to get all 5 read. We will see. It's a fingers crossed sort of thing at the moment, but yeah. I'm currently I'm reading 2 books at once because I'm listening to one and I'm reading another. So I'll be finishing both of them and then there's 2, and then I'll start the next 2. So I figure I've got 10 days to get through those 2 books, and then that should tide me over for 5 by the end of the month.
That'll get you in perfect position. Shauna, how about you? Team flawless. Oh, real quick before we move on from Rob. Rob, I'm sorry, but the Beagles are hilarious. That is a fantastic team name. Thank you very much for coming up with that.
Well, to be honest, we've had pictures of Beagles flying all about the team chat thing on Discord. So I figured, why in the hell not? Books and Beagles.
And, honestly, Shauna's name is already perfect for a March Mavericks readathon. I mean, Lawless, the name alone, is ready to go. But you managed to trump it. Well done.
Well, I can't claim responsibility for that. So somebody in the team said Team Flawless, and it was quickly chosen to be our team name, which is good.
Oh, yeah, no, dead last on the scoreboard now. But yeah, that is being able to take the manipulation on that. I hope you carry that past the end of the readathon, because that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, you might think we're last, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We could all be reading 5 books simultaneously, only for us to come out strong at the end. You've no idea what we're talking about in there.
Right?
Sleepers, that's what they are. You think they're doing poorly, then suddenly bang!
Yeah. Well, and we have that, right? There are some people, no matter what we say, that at the end of the month, like on the 30th, will show up with, here's your 12 points. See ya. It's just like, what, are you delivering cargo? Okay, oh, great. This is wonderful. Thank you. But sometimes they come out of nowhere. I'm looking forward to that. Tori, how are things going on the Slayers?
Awesome. Honestly, one of my favorite things about doing readathons is the energy in the team chats. It's so much fun. Everybody is just having a blast. We're all sharing TBR recommendations back and forth. Everybody's excited about the books they're reading. And I think even for people that maybe have been in a little bit of a slump this last part of the year, they're kind of getting re-energized with the community of readers, and that's been really, really fun to see. So yeah.
Well, and it's nothing quite beats the beginning of a race, right? Where everybody's kind of standing up in the crowd and the engines are revving and everybody's saying, yeah, let's go. And then you burn rubber and take off, and then you crash right into the wall. But
the wall that is weak too.
Are there people on your team that you want to give a shout out to, or that you feel like are doing really well, or
well, first off, how's your team doing, Andy?
Yeah, you're not going to get out of that.
Well, you're right. I never talk about myself, and I have to talk about my team, so I'm going to talk about my team. My team is awesome. I love them so much. We're doing really, really ridiculously well. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Twainy. Mm-hmm. But Twainy reads audiobooks like I drink milk. It's like glass after glass after glass after glass, day after day. She's done with her 5 on day 6. Oh, I take that back. Wow. She was done with her 5 on day 5. And she's just going to keep on chugging, right? If she makes it through, 25 books this month, it'll be a little slow. And then I've got Aaron and Man Glitter, what a name, are already at 4, and they are just cracking their way along. Now,
So
obviously,
what you're saying is you stacked the teams.
yes. my dad always said, okay, when I was a kid, we're playing cards with the family, and yes, I'm dealing, and I find the card I want and put it down in my hand, and I'm 8, so I don't do a very good job of it. And my dad looks at me and he goes, you need to be pretty low to cheat at a card game with your family. And that was the last time I ever cheated on anything. I feel like that was an effective adulting lesson. Well, what was cool about the way the teams worked out, I was terrified that you want to offer people the option that they want. And I thought, oh my gosh, somebody's going to have, 45% of the people are going to want to be on their team. I'm going to have to say no to people. And it was really super close. But everybody who asked for somebody got the person that they wanted. So I was absolutely thrilled about the way that worked out, because placement is always a little bit goofy. But yes, I cheated and stacked my team. How about you, Rob? How's your team going?
You've already asked me how my team's going. My team's
well,
going.
I'm sorry. Do you have any standouts? Do you have any people that are like killing it?
We do. We've got. I'm very sorry for names, because all I've got is the names that are on Discord. So they may not be your actual names. They may be your handles. I don't know. Anyway, we have Pris, who has just finished their 5th book. Just
Good
before
for you,
this
Pris.
started. Literally, I was adding up the numbers on the scoreboard, and another book popped up. I was like, really? So yeah, pretty much. Some of the rest of us have got a few points. Well, not me, but the rest of them. But yeah, we're currently being carried.
Pris, if you're going to be carried, being carried by Pris is a good thing.
Just put us all in the backpack and carry us to victory. Why not?
Well, and that's the beautiful thing about Pris, is that she will be there for you when you activate one of your ringers, right? When one of your teammates stumbles and falls, she'll be there. She'll be like, yeah, of course I read the other 5 books. Here you go, pal.
Yeah, other than that, we've just got a few. Looking at the scoreboard, we've just got a few people reading books here and there, just a smattering of books, which is quite nice. Hopefully there's even more of us who are like me, halfway through multiple books. When we do log them, though, points will flood.
Oh, and since he's here, I also need to give a shout out to Jason, just because Jason is awesome and he's here. There you go, Jason. Shauna, how about you? You have standouts? You have 5 book finishers already?
No, but actually her name just flashed up, Melissa. She is our leader at the minute.
Holy hearted, yeah.
Yeah, with 2 books. So what I would say is, I think our team is doing very well, because at the minute I think we're being quite consistent. Oh, she's saying she's on number 4 and 5 right now. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, so everyone's doing really well. There's been lots of books being put up in the group. Everyone's putting up what they're reading. So lots of very different books, which is really cool. Lots of book chat. But Melissa at the minute is our kind of standout reader.
I want to grow up and be one of these readers like Ariana, who's just like, you know what? I'm involved in a readathon challenge. I don't like this book that I'm working on. I'm just going to jettison that because I'll finish another 5.
Respect.
Yeah, Pris is like, I just logged number 5. 2.25. Actually, I want to finish with Tori because I want to get this answer. It's not the Assassins. I'm so sorry. It's
Slayers.
Thank you. How are the Slayers doing?
Good. Well, since you have Doug up on the screen, he also finished his 5 books in the first 5 days of the readathon, which still blows my mind. I don't understand. But shout out to Doug, who is now moving on to his ringer books for us for the future if we need them. which is awesome. I also wanted to call out Gina, who joined late to our team. She just came into the Discord. She got added to our team, I think, a day or two ago, has already logged 2 books for us, which is really awesome. And also the most unique book title in our team so far. Cinna has read Pimp My Airship
Oh
for
yeah,
our team, which I
remember
thought
the
was
art for that one.
hilarious. So I wanted to share that with everyone because I thought that was probably, of all the books that have been logged, it made me go, what? Okay.
Respect.
Respect.
And then the really confusing thing is there isn't even an airship in it. Who knew?
Who knew?
No airship, all pimp. Hiking reader, I haven't done anywhere near 5 books yet, but I will defend some of the heavier readers. Reading may be their main form on entertainment like me. I don't watch any TV. Reading replaces that time. I was just thinking about, so Shauna and I have talked about this before, in that when we were growing up, TV wasn't really that much of a thing, which gave you a lot of time to be weird and crazy and learn how to create problems that then you can create solutions to. And I admire the people who are like, I'm going to dig in on books rather than just be couch potatoes like I am all the time and just potato chip TV. So I really admire and respect the people who are like, yeah, my number one source of media is books.
Yeah, books are the best. I love books. I would read them over any other form of entertainment any day. And also, I'm not great at audiobooks unless I'm driving or walking, because then my brain seems to concentrate on the words. Say if I'm just in the house listening to audiobooks, my brain just wanders. And then I kind of re-listen and somebody's dead and I'm like, oh my God, what happens? But like when I used to drive a lot for work, I used to get through a lot of audiobooks, just purely because, you're literally just sitting and driving and, you're having a wonderful story read to you. So I used to read or like audiobook a lot more, and I would get through a lot of books. But not now that I'm working from home.
It's the need to occupy the body, I find. Like, to listen to an audiobook and actually pay attention to it, you need to do something to occupy the body. That's why I love doing it when I'm going for a walk with the dog or a run or even just doing the hoovering, because it's something that just stops my body from being like, I've got to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
The one thing I figured out about audiobooks is I would prefer to have my body occupied unless I'm driving a car, right? I can do audiobooks while I'm driving a car and I'm okay, because you can blank out on what, you're driving for 6 hours. Okay. You can blank out on what you're actually looking at. The thing that I cannot do is normally I read on my tablet at night, and I figured out that I cannot listen to an audiobook while I'm laying in bed because of exactly what Rob says. Like, I need either my body or my eyes need something to do. And if I start like looking at stuff on my tablet, the audiobook goes, bye.
Yeah, it just becomes background noise if you're trying to sort of like do something else at the same time.
Right. I was trying to think, what was it? It was Razor's Edge. Along the Razor's Edge was my first audiobook. That wasn't in a car, like a family thing, like something I did for me. And I remember having to train myself. Like, I would do that thing where you would get all the way through a chapter and they go, chapter 8. And you're like, wait, what? Oh, all right. I'm listening to an audiobook. And you like go listen to the entire thing again. But like once you tap into it,
my book couldn't hold your attention. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, what are you doing with chapter 7? I mean, really, I got bored. Yeah, Gen X here, loved TV as a kid. Biggest difference is it wasn't on demand, so way more downtime. All right, let me be an old man and lament for a moment, but the idea that you don't have the ability to get bored, I think being bored is one of the best gifts that somebody can have, because you're forced to go inward and create something to occupy yourself. And I lament the fact that has gone away.
When my kids come to me and they're like, "Mom, I'm bored," my first question is, "What are you going to do about it?" Like, I'm not going to entertain you.
My mom's was always, if you're bored, then you're boring, which I think I turned into a song later on.
Ouch. That's a little extreme.
Hey, fix the problem.
Well, my kids know that, like, if they don't find something to do, I can find things for them to do that they may not enjoy as much as what they might come up with. So
I have lots of work that you can accomplish.
The dishwasher is still full.
And Shauna, I want to talk about you real quick. Congratulations. We've had a lot of people reading Children, the Gods, and Fighting Men. And we were talking about it a little bit before we went live. And what you may or may not know, folks, is the fact that Shauna is not going into that channel at all.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, somebody's tagged me, and so I have gone in if somebody's tagged me. But otherwise, if there's a channel for my book, I don't like to go in because I do want people to feel free to say that they're not vibing with it or that they don't like something in it. Otherwise, I feel like maybe I'm impinging on their space, to be honest. And that's fine. There's like, if I think of all my favorite 5-star books in the world, if you go on Goodreads, there's loads of people that will have 1 and 2-starred it. And that's the great thing about literature, is that there's meant to be different opinions on what's there. So no, so I haven't been going in. So if anybody wants to talk to me about my book, you have to tag me, otherwise I won't say it.
Right. Noted.
And please do not be afraid of insulting any of the authors. They're all professionals, and they've been insulted by better than you. In fact, we need to do a 1-star bar at some point and talk about our nastiest reviews that we've ever gotten. That always makes for great
fun, but you've got to have a thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
As someone who has, trolled through my 1-star reviews before on occasion, you've got to have a bit of a thick skin. Some of them get nasty.
Oh, yeah. Or in Shauna's case, some of them become stalkers and make sure that everyone around you knows.
Yeah, I know. And it's that kind of blurry line where, you are allowed to say that you don't like books. But I did have one person who followed me around every single social media site and would comment about it to people I was in a conversation with, that they didn't like my book, and everywhere, not just Twitter, every single space where I was, they sort of seemed to find me. But that's okay. I wouldn't do that, but I don't know.
It's okay as long as they give up and get tired and go away.
Well, you see, the thing is, though, but I never responded, and so I think that's eventually what did happen.
The wisest decision. I love audiobooks when I'm in the kitchen cooking or washing up because I hate those jobs. Amen. I also love the audiobooks for Gale Song series because I love hearing the Irish names spoken. And by the way, Shauna, your narrator.
Yes, she's so good. Aoife.
Thank you.
I just love her. She did such a good job. And I actually asked for her. She was my #1 audiobook choice. And because I was a debut, I just really thought I wouldn't get her. And so I was just so excited whenever my publisher told me that she was reading. She reads a lot of Irish female authors' books. She would read from Marion Keyes and Sally Rooney and lots of big authors over here. So I knew her voice quite well, and it's lovely.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just something. Here we go. We've got a sentiment from Brian. Everybody loves Brian, that I think can be shared by many. I've contributed nothing.
We love you, Brian.
Now, Kay's trying to make him feel better, but you're right, Brian. You have contributed nothing. Now get on the pony, would you?
I technically have contributed nothing either. You're in good company, Brian.
That's right. And remember, Zin betrayed me and went to another team. Sorry, Zin. Brian didn't have any say in that. To me, reading the books and points is contribution. but I don't remember who read what. I don't remember how many points I got in a readathon. I do remember the conversations I had. I
Yes.
do remember those interactions, and that is the contribution. And especially in the beginning. And the other thing I'll say too is for the ringers and the people that have finished your 5 books or going to finish your 5 books very quickly, stay in there, because you urging your teammates on and saying, oh, I read that, and oh, you should try this, is part of what keeps the team going. So, you know, that's the contribution once you get past the 5 books, or if you never do any books at all.
I was looking back at some of the 2023 readathon stuff, or just thinking back to it, and I thought it was really cool. Like, as a full group, the readathon is so cool, because when we get to the end, like the last readathon I was in, we read as a group of 4 teams, like over 500 books, and most of them had reviews written.
Yeah.
So like just the impact on the community and the authors, like it's such a cool, like, overall thing to be part of.
Yeah, it's amazing when you start racking up the total. Like, we did really well. I think we had 120 people sign up. Now, some of those were doubles and some of them were no-shows, but we've got, I think, 27 active people on each team right now. And if everybody reads 5 books, that's more than 500 books that get read during the course of the month. So, you know, that's a big deal for everybody, and especially for indie authors. Your reviews mean everything. So the fact that you're doing that on Goodreads and Amazon, wunderbar. We've also got Andy, since he's not here, Darkblade Assassin coming up next on the list.
Sorry,
I've got Sean.
Andy disguise real quick. There we go.
Yeah. Thanks for reading, Zen.
Thanks for reading.
I read that comment as I'm doing Darkblade Assassin 10, and I was like, he's up to 10? There are 10 of those books?
I think there's only 9, right? There's 9, which is still a ridiculous amount, but
I think we're missing the decimal point. Oh, your reading. Okay, how has your reading gone so far? What have you been into? What have you liked? Have you discovered a character that's cool?
So I finished one book, which was an unintentional read, because I was in my car. I was at the doctor's. I had to have some things lasered off my eye if anyone's noticing that I look bruised. It's not. But anyway, I was in the car and I was waiting and I forgot my book, but there was another book in my car. So this is why a readathon is good. I normally just would have gone on my phone and like scrolled, but this time I was like, no, there's a book in your car, read it. And it was Normal People by Sally Rooney, who I actually mentioned previously.
Yeah.
So I had never read this book. It's a very famous book in Ireland especially, but it's a bestseller everywhere. So that is the book that I have finished so far. And it absolutely just, say from page 1, just sucked me in. I loved it so much. So it was brilliant, fabulous book about probably the inability to communicate with someone you love. So at times was also frustrating, but very good to kind of get back into that teenage mindset, because my children are kind of quickly becoming teenagers. And so I think sometimes it's always good to put yourself back into a younger mindset so you can kind of try to understand them a bit more. So that was the book I finished, and I'm still reading and loving The Morrigan by an author called Kim Curran. So they are my kind of 2 physical books, one that I finished and one that I am currently reading. And I have God Eater on my audio book and Kindle as well, actually. I've got that in 2 places now. So, well, yeah, I'm excited.
Rob, Tori, how about you?
Well, I'm about halfway through some book called Children of Gods and Fighting Men.
Oh, snap.
Who knows? So yeah, I'm about halfway through. I think about to page 250. I think I hit last night. So I'm steadily getting for about 50 pages a day. I'm sort of like, right, gets to sort of 10 o'clock at night, and rather than turn on the TV, I'm sort of like, no, sit down, get some pages read, which isn't always easy, especially as an author. It gets to the end of a day, and sometimes I just feel like I don't want to pick up a book. I don't want to have words in front of me anymore. But I'm making sure that I'm doing it. So really enjoying it so far.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Although the names just make no sense to me. I don't understand. It's like the one of the main characters is called Gormley, but it's spelled Gormflafe.
Cornflakes.
Yes, but it's Gormla. Yeah.
It makes
yeah.
no sense.
Sorry.
So I'm just reading the names as they appear to me rather than the correct names.
All right.
That's okay. Don't worry. Right. So this is a question I always ask people when they're reading, and it's a very interesting conversation. Are you Team Fola or Team Gormla?
You see, so the book started with Gormla, so I was like, aha, there's my main character. But she's a massive bitch. Whereas Fola is just ridiculously naive. So I find myself getting angry at both of them, which is good, because the last thing you want is your main character to leave readers with absolutely no strong feelings whatsoever. But if you're getting angry at them, then you are engaging with the book. So it is good. So yes, they both make me angry, and I'm not sure which one I like more. It's like, do I like the one who's an utter bitch to everyone, or do I like the one who's just so damn naive? Just wisen up a bit. I don't know.
Interesting. It was in my Discord, I think. So, like, everyone there was saying about how much they kind of were Team Fola, and they wanted her to kind of, like, not be so naive, I guess, but she's so good to kind of get what she needed and what she wanted. And I mentioned that, like, sometimes people are Team Gormla, and a couple of people were like, what? And there's people that are Team Gormla, and I was like, yeah, like, some people really, really love her, and she does, like, see the terrible things she does in book 1 is like nothing compared to what she gets up to by book 3.
Oh, bloody hell.
And people still love her. They still absolutely love her, which makes me laugh.
Yeah, Rob may have written a character like that that got slightly worse over the course of the series. Tori,
I don't know what you're talking about. She was lovely. Lovely character. I hear nothing bad said about Eska.
So I have read 2 so far. I had my first read was a indie Quiet Vengeance by Tim Hardy, which I very much enjoyed. I find when fantasy authors go from like an industrial age backwards is very interesting to me. Like when you have the technology of the past is no longer part of the societies and everything, and now it's gone more back to kind of that ancient world vibe. I just think that's fascinating and really interesting, and he did it, I think, really well, and just kind of sprinkled in enough stuff in there that I was like, this is just a very interesting, fresh take on that kind of a world building trope. And then after that, I did a read along in my Discord for The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger. This is a murder mystery thriller, small town thriller. And the author is from my home state of Minnesota. So that was really cool also. Mixing it up a little bit.
And Rob, I'm in the same boat, although I'm slightly ahead of you. I just finished Children of God's Fighting Men last night at about midnight. The final words were spoken into my ear as if they came in a dream. And I really enjoy the author. It's interesting. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Oh, wait, perhaps we might talk about that after this this video is over. If you guys want to stick around afterwards, Shauna and I are going to be talking about her writing and Children of God's Fighting Men after this is over. But I have kept our captains around for an entire half hour, so we need to get to the main. Ladies first, and Shauna, since you are the lady captain, we will give you first dibs. How many points does your team have right now?
We have 27 points.
27. How many books is that? Are you generally going 2 points per, or do you have a lot of people turning in their indies already?
I actually don't know because Kayla, who's my seconds, she's been keeping the scoreboard for me. But from the chats on the group, I think it's just everybody is reading. It's a mixture of indie and trad, probably actually a little bit more indie, I would say. And I think that's just been the key. Everybody's probably got at least 2 points or like 1 or 2 points so far.
Yeah, exceptional. Tori, normally Andy would go last because his name starts with a P. But under the rule, alphabetically, you're up.
Cool. Well, my team has read 23 books in the first 6 days of the readathon, which baffles me as much as it baffles you. We are at 53 points right now.
Whoa. 53 points. Holy Moses. All right. Woo. That is a ton. And one of the things that I want to say, I know I said it in the chat, but team captains, when someone finishes 5, make sure to give them an extra point because you get 1 point for finishing the assigned task. And then we'll say the thing that we always say, teams, you will live or die by your review points. 100%. So make sure you put in your reviews.
Yeah, every single, sorry, I was just going to say shout out to my team because every single book has a review on it so far. Wow. Well done, guys.
That is spectacular. I'm 23 books. All right, Mr. Hayes, what do you got?
So sorry, I'm an idiot. Do you get an extra point for leaving a review on a book?
You do. If, on the questionnaire, it will say, did you leave a review? Yes. And if they say yes, then they get 1 point for the prompt and 1 point for the review.
Right then, we are on 24 points.
24 points for Team Hayes.
With 10 books read so far. But to be fair, we've only had 5 people turn in books read so far. So I've got a good feeling that much of my team are like me, and we're getting there. And we're gonna, when we do start turning in, we're gonna rock it up. But for now, we're just like we're not the hare, we're the tortoise.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. All right, so let's see. Whichever one of us gets the most points this week gets their team name on the top right-hand side, because right now they're stocked ladies first. So we'll rearrange according to points. Right now, we have 28 books turned in.
Wow.
We have 3. Now, keep in mind, I've got Twainy killing it, and Manglitter and Aaron, both of whom have 4 books. With them responses, we have 1, 2, 3 reviews that have not been turned in yet, including mine. For a total of 62 points. This is the point where I'm so glad that I cheated. With them 62. Okay, 53, 27, 24. Got it. Okay. Past performance is no indication of future success. But right now, the Tome Raiders are in the lead with 62 points. We've got a ton of great readers and a long way to go. So, challenge for Team Lawless, Team Hayes, and Team Peliquin to catch up for this week. The Tome Raiders are going to be on top. So, yay me. That's a weird thing to say. All right, that's perfect. Okay, we will check in with you next week on the scoreboard. We will rack it up and see how we're all doing. To all the team captains and to Tori especially for stepping in, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time around for Happy Reading.